All right, so this is not like the gospel truth here when it comes to 5-1, but this is just some thoughts. This is what we're going to try, okay? So we went over this a little bit. Again, the 5-1 means we have, more or less, we have 5 eligible hitters, and we have 1 setter, okay? So when the setter is in the back row, like this is the big change from the 4-2. So in the 4-2, we would have 2 setters, right? And we would only have the system, really, for the front row. There's only 3 different things to pay attention to. That's it. When our setter is up in the front row, okay, actually, let me just go back here. When our setter is up in the front row like this, it's exactly the same as what we've been doing in the front row, okay? There is no difference. We do not have a second setter back here, okay? And in the 5-1, the other difference is going to be this. We're probably going to try and make use of some more libero in the back. So this is probably going to be libero here. Okay? Well, you'll find out, I guess. It's going to be most of the time. Right now, our liberos and our middles are about the same defensively. So I'm going to put in kind of the best defensive people in here. But this is typically where, if we can settle on, we get 2 liberos this year. It's a new rule. So we can have 2 people going in and out for liberos. So if we can settle on a libero or somebody that's like a defensive specialist that's really, really good at, at this area here, and you can suck up all these balls that come over in this area, and you're quick and you can take charge back there, then great. I will probably go with 1 or 2 people that are like that. Right now, I'm fine with our middles being back there. The middles can be back there, but like I said, to make some better use of more of our team, I might be substituting in the back a bit more. Okay? All right, so let's just say that this is a libero back here, okay? So the libero kind of picks up everything behind the block here as much as possible, right? So any tips that come over, this is like our setter was here before in the 4-2, our setter was here, but the libero is going to pick up everything there, okay? So that's kind of the libero area. So if let's say this is our starting position, serve, receive. Okay, so now serve, receive, this is where things get a little bit tricky. So let's do this. Let's bring this over. Okay, so these are our home positions, our serving positions here like this. So what's going to happen is, let me just copy this. I think this would be the best way to teach this. Okay, so we're going to have to try and get into our serve receive. When the setter is up front like this, everything is the same as what we've been doing, 4-2. Like we're doing the W, right? So we kind of have the 5 people we're serving. So when the setter's up front, literally everything is the same, except in the back row, the libero's in the middle, not the other setter. So we're going to, this middle's going to come back, right? We have this power come back. The libero here now will probably be, actually the libero should probably stay in the middle. We have to be careful with this here. So the power is going to come up, and we'll put the libero on one of the sides here. Okay? Yeah. So that we kind of have this 3 across here and then 2 in the back, right? So this libero is kind of like on one of these kind of back sides.
Alex Crezio,
okay.
Come to the high school office. Alex to the high school office.
Now in the future, we might just go with 4 back here, because that's probably going to make things a little bit easier when our setter's in the back row. So we might just do 4, but right now we'll stick with the 5. Okay, so we'll do the W, stick with the 5. Okay, so that's not a problem. And when the setter moves over, we just adjust. The setter stays up here, whatever, right? In the different setups. No big deal. Let's talk about when the setter is in the back row. So we have net. Okay, so let's say we have setter here, and we have the right side over here, middle, libero, power. Okay, so this is kind of like our serving position. So in serve receive, we're gonna adjust a little bit, and I think what we used to do was have 2 people up at the net, and we can adjust this way. I don't know if you guys are gonna, if this is gonna be better for you or not, but we could still have our 5 people in the W position, so everybody's gonna kind of back up, right? Libero 2 is gonna kind of hit the side here. Everybody backs up, okay? So that we have our W. And this setter then is going to just kind of like hide. So this setter has to be behind this power and to the right of this libero, that's it. So if the setter is like right here with the hand on the shoulder, remember we did that in practice? So if the setter is caught in the back, you are not receiving. I don't want you receiving. You need to get the second ball. So in this case, does everyone see that? The setter is gonna just hide behind the power, and these are gonna be the 5 that are gonna arrange themselves in the W. Does that sound good? Okay. In the future, or this is the thing we may do like tonight, if this doesn't work, then we may say, you know what, we're just gonna do 4 receiving the ball. And the power and the setter are gonna be up here. Power and setter up here. Then we're gonna go, you guys just kind of spread out, okay? And kind of do more of a
Please come to the high school office.
more of a W, and just we'll work it out so there's just 4. Okay? A lot of teams do like 3. They do 3. That's a bit too much for us, I think. There's too much space. So 5 has been good. You guys have been, you know, you don't have to move much, and the ball comes straight at somebody when we have 5. The only problem is you got to call your ball still, right? So with 4, I don't think it's going to be that much different. We just don't have this covered as much. You know what I mean? Or maybe the back covered quite as much because we have to flatten out a bit. Does that make sense? So we'll probably try and start with this one tonight because that's minimal disruption. It's just up to the setters, which Hannah, you're going to be the starting setter, probably going to be setting most of the time. Depending if we go with 1 or 2 liberos, we'll see who's subbing you off, okay? But you are our best setter, so you're going to be starting setter. Okay. Oh, Mr. G is texting me, hang on. Okay, what are your thoughts on this? Do you guys think we can do this tonight without any problem, or do you think that this one we should try? Or questions about them? This one?
Yeah, for that one, can we still stagger?
Can you still stagger? Well, it's a little tough because you kind of have to do this, I think, because if you tried to stagger, then you would have right side, power, middle, libero, and then you have this whole thing is really not covered. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of even, like it would be, do you know what I mean? And then the power is up at the net, and they would have to quickly get back to get a ball here, which wouldn't work. And you don't want to come back and get this because you're not supposed to be involved in the first hit. So the stagger is like, not as good. I think you need to kind of do this little right side, power, middle, lib. So it has to be kind of like this a bit. Okay? And usually the serves are pretty hot. And the thing is with this one, you have to be ready either to set it, right? Or to, I mean, you don't want to do this on a serve probably, but you have to get strong arms and strong hands and set that. So I don't know how good most of us are with setting a hard serve right now, right? We haven't really worked on that, but it's just strong hands, and it's not like a big, like, you know, beautiful. It's just like this, right? It's like it's, you know, you don't have a lot of feel to it because the ball's screaming at you. So this way, at least, probably you can bump it. Like most of you can bump it there. Yes.
You know how like if the ball's coming at your head, you like go like this or like whatever.
Yeah.
I forget if it was our game or a game we were watching, but like someone went like this and like bounced off, and then the ref called it.
No, I don't think so.
That's what if you like lift your arms.
No, if you carry the ball like this, or if it hits your hands twice, like boom boom, and comes off spinning, then they'll call it for like a 2. But no, if you can set up a serve. That's legal. Like they called you that in elementary because they didn't want anybody in elementary to do that. Like I think it was illegal in elementary. I don't know. Was it? Yeah, they blew it down. Yeah, but no, you can do that here. It's just you have to be careful. And if you like, even if it just hits your hands, like this, like kunk, like it just if it bounces off, as long as you don't carry it or as long as it doesn't go clink clink, like come off spinning, then you're fine. But I mean, this has, you don't have any control over this, right? If you just like on a serve, you're like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm actually, no, don't want a calculator here. So I'm actually like doing actions and no one can see that. So hey, there we are. Okay, I'll put my face back on there. All right. So set, strong arms, or just like this. But if you're getting spiked at, then just get your hands up, like whatever. Just get your hands up and like let it bounce off you, and try and have a bit of an angle so it bounces up so your team can help you out. Okay. All right.
Fire starting right away.
Boy, there's a lot of announcements here.
Fire in the music.
Okay, setter in the back position. So if we have this, okay, and then middle, power, right? So if we have this, then obviously everybody just squeezes back and do your 5W, and the setter just kind of has to like hide somewhere, right? Let me copy this. Copy. Yeah, so then this person here, the power, all right, comes back. This, whoa. This middle comes over. This right side, come on. Everybody comes back. Right, so we have our W. And then the setter just kind of like hides. I don't love this, but this is just the closest that we have to the system that we had. So the setter is like right here, right? Hand on the shoulder, whatever, almost right beside this. And as soon as the ball's hit, you're already kind of moving. Right when the ball's in the air, you're already starting to move. And then you're out of the way before the ball comes over the net, right? It shouldn't be a big deal. So setters, just know if you're setting, you have to just kind of hide behind the person you're kind of in front of, and then just zoom right up here and spin around, right? So that you can receive the ball. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like if you're slow and you move over, you're slow and the ball comes over and hits you in the head, that's a problem. But I think we can avoid that, probably. Do you think? Do you think? Okay. Not a lot of interaction. Okay, good. That's fine. So setter here moves up to here. Okay. Do we still have to stay in these positions until the ball goes over? Yes. Don't do that.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, stay in these positions until the ball goes over, and then you do your switches. The middle then goes over here, right side over here. Okay?
And like everybody yells switch because like
Yeah.
the front row has to switch quite a bit when the setter's coming back.
Well, I mean,
Well, like when,
you're still gonna have two switches for sure. You're gonna have two switches for sure.
but then I'm gonna be up there. And
Yes. So okay, guys listen. Keep focused here. That's good. That's a good question. So on the defense now. So let's talk about we're just talking about serve receive. On the defense, then you have 3 blockers, and so we need to have 2 blockers on every hit. Okay. So your right side's gonna switch over here. Middle's gonna switch over here to block. Power's gonna go up to block. Okay. The setter is going to be. Whoops.
Make a Capricorn, please go
Over
to
here.
McLaren Zoom. Make a
Power.
Capricorn to Ms. McLaren Zoom.
Over here, middle / libero is going to be here. Okay, so the middle / libero is here. You have to. The libero kind of has. Actually, let me change that to libero. This is now defense. So the ball's over on this side. They're bouncing it around, gonna hit on us. Okay. So the libero here now, you're still in the middle, but the problem is that we don't have anybody that's solely back here, behind you. So the setter, this is kind of your area, and yes, you might have to take a first ball. You can pop it to the libero. Probably the liberos are going to be K-Mat and Ella. Okay, so they're going to be in the middle here. They both can set. So if you get the ball, just set it up to one of these guys. The libero. You can set it over to the power or to the right side. Okay, that should be not bad of a set there for you, one of those two. Okay, so if you have to take it first, setter. Okay, whoever's setting. But yeah, you kind of got this region here, so This is your spot. Okay, libero, still take as much as you can. Like, you have to be very active, this libero. Very active, very quick. You have to react to the first ball. You get the first hit whenever you can. Okay? And then once the ball comes over, okay, so the ball is over here, then the setter moves up to here. These guys move back. And then the power here, let's say, gets it up to the setter, and the setter has 3 options. Okay? And then when the ball goes over, this setter, the setter that was here that sets, moves back to this position. So you have this spot. Okay? So the big thing that we're changing is the setter does not occupy the middle always in the back. Okay? Because we don't have a setter up front. Your job is here. When you're up front, you're over here. Okay, questions? What's the question? Yeah, ask your question if you have one.
If Brett says that back row, can it still be?
Okay. Yeah, okay, so anybody in the back row, so we have an attack line, right? The attack line's about here, which means that if you guys are going to hit, you have to leave the ground from behind this attack line. You cannot be up at the net and then jump and spike, right? So anybody in the back row can hit. They just have to be in the back row when they're jumping, if they're jumping. Yeah, I might be a little more strategic when the setter is up here, let's say. When the setter is up here, I might be a little more strategic with who I put back here. I don't know, we'll see. This other kind of middle person or whatever, or this power or whatever back here. I guess the right side person, I might leave that person here. I might switch this person out so that you can floor hit from here or jump from here. But yes, the back row is available. The back row is always available. And some teams in the junior level, like not a lot of our teams like that we play, but a lot of times the setter is purposely setting to a power hitter in the back because they're a really good hitter. Yeah, anybody can hit in the back. You just can't be in front of this attack line and jump off the ground and contact the ball. That's illegal. Yeah, some teams. Oh yeah. Some of those teams that have good hitters, they'll purposely, yeah. I mean, if a team has a hitter that is like dynamite hitter, I mean, they can hit from anywhere, anywhere in the court. You just set it to them and they can hit from anywhere. But right now we're going to focus on our hitters in the front. If the setter is up here, then the back set can't be here. The back set, if you're going to hit to the back person, it has to be back here. You know what I mean? So we'll primarily just focus on one of these two, just like we have been. Okay, any other questions? That's a good question. Anybody else? Okay, so the big difference is when the setter's in the back. So let's say we have the setter over here. We have the right side here. We have, what do we have then? Power here, middle, something like that. So then in this case, ball comes over. On serve receive, this setter has to go all the way over to this spot. So we somehow have to get our setter up here. And this is where, again, we might move to this where the power and the setter stay up there so the setter can just zoom over like this. But as it stands right now, we have the power back here receiving, and the setter is more or less right here, hand on the shoulder. As soon as the ball comes over, you just scoot up here. Okay?
Also, should the setter kind of go up to the net and then over? 'Cause
If you
that's straight in front.
if you want to be here, I'm fine with that. And then just take a little bit of a shorter route. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you think you can do, depending on the server. If the server's like dynamite and they're really stiff, you got to get out of there really quick. So go up here. But okay. And this might be a lib back here. Okay, any other thoughts, questions? All right. I think that's a lot of the basics I wanted to go over with you. We'll still do our W, setter, just hide for now. And if that seems to be a problem, we'll make some adjustments. But like worst case scenario, didn't have a lot of time to practice this, right? So we'll see how it goes in the game. If you guys are sharp and just use your heads and play volleyball, there should be very little change we have to do. It's mostly going to be on the setter. And remember, the libero is going to park in the middle there. The setter is going to be on this backside here. That's our defensive position. And then the setter is going to come up here when we're attacking. Sound good? All right. Okay, if there's no other questions, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. If you want to stick around, I'm going to play a video that talks about the 5-1. So if you want to stick around, I'll just have that playing. You can continue eating here and you can watch for the rest of the noon hour. But if you have to go or want to go, you go ahead and we'll see how this goes tonight. Okay? Awesome.